Only, it was completely shocking to claim that this person who rated my newspapers was this terrible. Hayden Stinchfield, a student Washington State University, explains how behavior of Ta Bryan Kohberger, the criminology class, changed after Idaho. We learn more about a 28-year-old graduate student accused of brutal of Moscow. Idaho-Dört Idaho University student Bryan Christopher Kohberger is arrested thousands of miles away from Pennsylvania on Friday after being arrested thousands of miles away from the crime. RelatedBryan Kohberger's childhood friend Idaho reveals new details about the S. Kohberger is a graduate student at the Department of Criminal and Criminology at Washington State University. Now, a Washington State University student who has Kohberger in the criminal class, sheds light on how his behavior has changed after his personality and Idaho's have taken place. Hayden Stinchfield, CNN told, "Just shocking the newspaper. This person who rated my newspapers was shocked to realize that this horrible," said. WatchRetired FBI profile on possible motives in Idaho's while his interactions with Kohberger are limited to the conference hall. He said that the rating style was quite solid. Stinchfield would be gradual about what he calls a higher standard. But what he really felt for us. He graded us as a doctor student. We were all uncomfortable with him. In fact, Stinchfield said that his professor allowed students to take better grades to get a courtroom experience at some point of the period. Stinchfield, Bryan brought Bryan and Okay go to him, and Bryan stood up, and a few people were with him because they wanted to protect their high grades. But mostly, it was like half of a 150-person class that asked these real critical questions. It wasn't like shouting or anything else. But it was absolutely conflicting. Related4 Idaho University Student is a timeline of the S. Bryan Kohberger Monroe County breeding facility. The S took place about a month before the winter vacation. And then Stincehfield said that the rating style made a sudden turn. Then, everyone just began to rating the 100s, he said. Stincehfield described his behavior as preoccupied after the S. and said he looked less well-groomed, and took off his face. The previous mental occupation we noticed was at the highest level of all time. As the previous mental occupation we noticed really did not want to be there. He didn't seem to look great.